Check one, two, three. All right. So, for my latest installment, I'm going to talk about my time in Costa Rica, the Central American country. Specifically, much of my time was spent out in Costa Rica in the city of San Jose, but I also ventured out of the capital of the country and checked out a few other main spots in the country, to include the Afro-Caribbean town of Lemone, and then also the surfer beach town of Aco on the Pacific side. So I was looking at some countries, and I was like, I want to go somewhere that is really has a lot of ecotourism and a comfortable vibe, a comfortable feel. So I was looking into different countries around the world, and I saw that Costa Rica ranked highly on the scale of the most happiest places on earth. Matter of fact, it was number one at one time. So I said to myself, you know what? I'm gonna take a stroll through the country of Costa Rica. When I arrived at Costa Rica at the airport is called Juan Samaria International Airport in San Jose, Costa Rica. When I arrived there, I got my luggage, and then I had my driver take me to my lodging. Upon doing that, I got settled, I got myself a bite to eat, and from there, I went to check out the town. I had a tour set up through the Viator company to do a bus ride around San Jose. On the bus ride, we learned about the different aspects of the culture, to include the food. So it being a Central American country, a Latin American country, rice and beans being a popular staple, pico de gallo, and then other assortments of meats and so forth. We also learn about the Spanish history of the country and the Spanish influence on the country. Much of the country, while it was a country that was conquered, a landmass conquered by the Spanish and the conquistadors, it wasn't used much by the Spanish until around the 1800s. It is mostly a country of forests, rainforests. One of the things about Costa Rica is the fact that it has much of its land being rainforest. So if you are into ecotourism, it is definitely the place to go for zip lining, also hiking, surfing. As I mentioned earlier, with the city of Aco, that's a place you can go to surf. Also, on the tour, we checked out some of the main neighborhoods in San Jose, to include the party district of San Jose, La California. So this is the premier spot to go, mostly for college students. So for those that are interested in partying with the younger crowd, that's the place to go. Also San Pedro. For more of a grown and sexy vibe, if you will, you can check out the neighborhood of Escalante in San Jose, where there's an assortment of restaurants, bars, and other dining areas for your pleasure. After the tour, I went back out to the neighborhood of La California, as it was recommended that I check it out. Man, it was a blast. On my YouTube channel, I have a video of my time out in La California. While in La California, I went on a pub crawl, and it is with a company. Their name is Carpe Diem. It was a great time. Our host, Admiral, he showed us all around La California, the different bars, and we danced the night away. the music of choice in San Jose is, you guessed it, reggaeton. Reggaeton. It is the music of choice. It is a popular genre in Latin America to listen to. They also had reggae and dancehall music, which is very popular in Costa Rica, specifically in San Jose, but also in the Caribbean side, where the city that I mentioned earlier, Lemone, is located. When out, we checked out several different bars and clubs with different themes, more of a hip hop, R&B, reggaeton, dance hall music flair. Man, it was amazing. It was a great time, and the people, they're not wallflowers. They're not just standing around trying to look cute. These people love to dance. So if you are into dancing, you definitely gonna get your fill in San Jose, and specifically in La California. The next day, I wanted to check out some of those volcanoes that I heard about. So I took a day tour from San Jose to the La Fortuna region and checked out the volcano of Arnon. Arnon is one of the premier sites in Costa Rica. In the late 60s, there was an eruption of the volcano, which unfortunately killed dozens of individuals. And it is honored to this day, those that lost their life in the eruption of the volcano of Arnon in the late 60s. So from there, we also went to the hot springs. Now, the hot springs is truly, truly relaxing. If you have any ailments, any joint issues, the hot springs will help in relieving those issues that you have, at the very least temporarily. And it's also a great feeling. It is totally an awesome experience. If you are in the country, I would recommend checking out the hot springs. I believe the location we went to name was Tamar, right next to Arnon volcano. By that time, believe it or not, that was the end of the day. It was almost 10 o'clock. So I got back home to my lodging and got some sleep. The next day, I went out and checked out some of the food places to eat. I'm a vegan, so I checked out some of the vegan spots, and they do have vegan spots, specifically in San Jose. I went to this one place called Mantras. They really serve top quality vegan food. So if you are into veganism, I definitely recommend checking out if you're in the San Jose, Costa Rica area. Also, I checked out a restaurant called Nuestra Tierra Nuestra, if I'm not mistaken. I'll put that information in the comment section. But that's a restaurant near the city hall. They sell authentic Costa Rican food. So you can check it out, try it out, and see what you think. And for those in the DC area, if you're into Costa Rican food, there's a place called Tico DC on 14th Street. So if you want to get a sample of Costa Rican food prior to your trip to the Central American land, I would definitely recommend checking out Tico DC on 14th Street. So after I did my own day tour, I met up with a friend and we hung out, and we actually went to San Pedro. San Pedro that's like where the University of Costa Rica is. They have additional bars and clubs and so forth that you can go to. So we went bar hopping on our own, and then we got some rest. After that, the next day, I went to the surfer town of Aco. Aco is a beach town on the Pacific side of Costa Rica. It has a beautiful view of the Pacific Ocean, and I did some vlogs of that on my earlier additions to Motivational Movements, aka Melanated Magic YouTube channel. So check it out, and you can see the land. They have a set of hotels there where you can stay, and then also they have their own form of Walmart. I believe it's called Mas or Mayos. So I would definitely check that out. They have hostels for those that are into that locale in the country. They want to stay on the beach. They have concerts out there. It's a really cool town to check out if you're in Costa Rica. So I was there for about a day, and then headed back to San Jose. Later on my trip, I went to the city of Lemone. The city of Lemone is a part of the Costa Rica history. In the 1800s, there was a need to build the railroads, and so a lot of immigrants from Jamaica came to build the railroads, similar to how a lot of Jamaicans came to build the Panama Canal in the neighboring country of Panama in the 1800s. And so the blacks weren't really allowed to stay in San Jose. So yeah, segregation is not only in America till the 1940s, but they built their own town in the city of Lemone, and it has a great history to it. The great Pan-Africanist Marcus Garvey came there, was a clock watcher in the city for a time on his trek around the world. Also, the Black Star newspaper, if I'm not mistaken, has a history there as well. And when I was there, I tried out some of the foods. So in Costa Rica, if you go, you'll see these little restaurants. They're not little restaurants, amazing restaurants called sodas. And so I tried out one of the sodas there, and I noticed that they had a influence of Jamaican food, and that's when I started finding out more about the history of Lemone and the Jamaicans that came there and eventually stayed there. Now, a really neat fact is Costa Rica is a Spanish-speaking country primarily, but when you go to Lemone, you'll start to hear people speaking English, and that's because the people that were there, they were limited primarily to that Caribbean coast, and so they spoke in their language of English. So you'll find that most of all the country is Spanish speaking, but that area is English. So for you people that are newcomers to international travel, this would be a country that would be easy for you to navigate due to the fact that they speak English in the country. And then also even the people in other parts of the country that primarily speak Spanish, a lot of the people specifically in San Jose are bilingual. And that's a testament to their amazing educational system, which they devoted much time and research to starting in the 1940s, when the country decided to get rid of its military and allocate the funds that it was using for its military to health and education. Wow, what a progressive, constructive way of thinking. I wish more countries start that way. So when I was in Lemone, also, I walked around, talked to some of the locals. They told me about a great place to take a picture. So I took a picture in front of this area called the newspaper area, and it had a sign of Lemone. It's pretty neat. It's on my blog when I talk about traveling to the rich coast for the first time. Yes, for the first time. And it is my blog name, melanatedmagic.com. And you can see that picture and many more showcasing the wonder and beauty of the country of Costa Rica. So there's some people that come to, if I'm not mistaken, to surf as well, but I believe it's down in Portoviejo, which is a city about 1 hour south of the main city of Lemone on the Caribbean side. I went to Portoviejo also later on in an additional trip to Costa Rica, and that was a blast too. It's another beach town, really relaxing. Being the Caribbean side, there's a lot of Jamaican, African influence. Uh, Great food there. Number of great vegan restaurants and sodas. Uh, so if you are in Costa Rica, I recommend checking out Portoviejo. One of the biggest things I noticed that would be an attraction to the city of Portoviejo is the amazing beaches. There's a beach that's just all black sand, and then also white sand beach, Cocos uh, Beach. So I definitely recommend checking out Portoviejo. And then also is a really chill vibe there. Really, really chill vibe. It's like everything's good, man. Kind of like Jamaica. Overall, I would say Costa Rica is an amazing country. It has a lot of great places to check out, to include the aforementioned cities of San Jose, Portoviejo, Lemone, Aco. Other cities to check out when in the Costa Rican country would be Manuel Antonio Beach. And then also there's a city a lot of Europeans and Americans go to, Tamarindo. It's another beach town. That's a place where people tend to have a lot of interest to go to as well. Again, Costa Rica is mostly rainforest. So if you are into ecotourism, checking out different land masses and terrains and being in nature, you'll love it. My time there was amazing, and I would definitely go again. Great people, great food, great weather. Pura Vida. Till next time, take it easy.